Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host Eric Smith, and today instead of talking about books as I normally do, I'm going to talk about some DVDs. I'm a huge fan of low budget and independent cinema, and one of my favorites out there is Reel Splatters Productions. So I have a couple DVDs here from Reel Splatter that I want to talk about. First you have Suburban Holocaust, Reel Splatter Volume 1. Entertainment for the Morally Bankrupt. This is one of those times when I kind of wish I knew what I was doing here. Had editing equipment, or an editing program, I guess I should say, because I can't show you any clips from any of this stuff. All I can do is hold this up. I can show you these little pictures here from some of the shorts. But this is a collection of short films from Reel Splatter. And Reel Splatter has been around, I'm not exactly sure, I'd say at least 10 years, maybe a little longer. It's Mike Lombardo is the creator of Reel Splatter. And if you watch this, you'll see written, directed, produced by Mike Lombardo. So this is his baby. Now with Suburban Holocaust, as I said, it's a bunch of short films. I can't really go into detail on each one, or this video would be longer than this DVD. But really quickly, we'll give you the table of contents. So contained in here, you have Where Has All the Laughter Gone? Which is a really short sort of take on art house films or student films. Followed by that, you have Brady's Games Zombies commercial, which I believe is a real commercial that they made for Brady's Games. Homemade Roofies, Skylar Phalanges Zombie Hunter, Take My Breath Away, Demonstration of the Dead, Womb for Two, A Reel Splatter Halloween, Dr. Blood's Cinema Dungeon, and finally you have Long Pig. It's a great collection of short films made on a micro budget, and this is definitely, they use the term micro budget, and it shows. You have to be a fan of this sort of independent filmmaking, I think. Don't expect... This isn't a Michael Bay picture. It's not a big budget endeavor, but it's a lot of fun. I have a dark, sick, twisted sense of humor, and I think Mike Lombardo and his friends do as well, because this is all sick, twisted, hilarious stuff. Skylar Phalanges Zombie Hunter takes the premise of a zombie hunter and kind of spins it on its head in a really short, fun film that goes on so long it becomes uncomfortable, but in a great, funny way. Take My Breath Away. It's really an interesting one that introduces a character that we're going to see again. Excuse me. Even Homemade Roofies. Just really funny, with a little twist at the end. Demonstration of the Dead is a nice piece that, according to the commentary, was made and submitted for a contest for George Romero when Diary of the Dead came out. And it's got a cameo by Brian Keene, one of my favorite authors. Anyone who's watched my reviews, you know I've mentioned him, reviewed some of his stuff. Womb for Two is a hilarious 70s style sitcom type thing. With basically it's about a 16-year-old fetus. So essentially a 16-year-old kid still living in his mother's womb. Still attached to the umbilical cord. It's so funny and well done. Reel Splatter Halloween is just sort of a shout out to the Reel Splatter fans, I think, because it calls back a bunch of characters from different stuff. Possibly my favorite, Dr. Blood's Cinema Dungeon. It looks horrible, which is part of its charm. I assume that's what they were going for. It's really wild, but it actually has a statement to make, and it's done in a hilarious way. Just fantastic. And Long Pig has a few shout outs to different things, but and it starts out one way and turns into something completely different, and you can see a change in quality because it was filmed, I guess the two parts were filmed 3 years apart, I believe is what they said. There is commentary on all but one of the shorts on here, and I'm a huge fan of special features. So of course I watched everything, and then I watched everything again with the commentary, and then I went on to the special features, which include a Backyard Splatter 101 little class. There's 2 of them on this disc. You have the first one deals with making fake blood, different ways, well, basically one way to make it, but ways to get different color, different consistency, different ways to apply it. Really interesting. I love that kind of thing. The second Backyard Splatter 101 shows you how to make chunks of flesh, which was really cool. And if you watch Womb for Two, excuse me, keep on saying womb with a view. Womb for Two, basically the entire womb set was made from these chunks of flesh, and it's really interesting to me, at least, to see how that stuff is done. I actually had someone tell me they hate special features because they think knowing how something's done takes away the magic of the movie. And personally, for me, especially with this low budget, micro budget, independent kind of stuff, I love to see how they do it, because to me that makes it even more impressive. You watch the short film and you enjoy it and you think, wow, that's really cool, and then you see that they did it with a paper clip and a cotton ball, or whatever it happens to be, and to me that's just so much more impressive to go, wow, they just used that crap and made that awesome thing. So I love this background kind of stuff. You've also got a special feature called Dr. Chud Gets Inked, and Dr. Chud is Mike Lombardo's alter ego, I suppose. He's the I can't think of the word right now, but he represents Reel Splatter. That's Dr. Chud right there. But basically, we get to see Mike Lombardo get his first tattoo, which was pretty cool. And it was a nice looking tattoo, and some interesting things go on when he's getting it. I'm not going to go into all the cast. There's 10 short films here, and a lot of people. And personally, I think it's easier to not try to mention all of them and miss some. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I'm not going to try and name everybody that's in these things. As much as they deserve credit, you should just watch it, and then you'll see their names, and they can have credit. Although, see, now, there are 2 that I want to mention, because there are a lot of people that show up again and again. Again, because this is low budget, and it's a labor of love. As much as they might complain on the commentaries and the behind-the-scenes stuff, they'll admit they do it because they love it. They want to make something. So a lot of people keep coming back and helping out their friend. So 2 people I want to mention. One is Tim Sipasong, and he shows up in a few of these, but mainly I just wanted to mention him because I love that name, Sipasong. I just love to say it. but he's pretty good. He shows up in like I said, in a couple of different ones. And then I need to mention Scott Schaub, who shows up in a whole bunch. Basically the star of Womb for Two, and he does music for some stuff. He's got a band called Testosteroso. Just want to make sure I say that right because it's a mouthful. Testosteroso, and the stuff I've heard from them, I absolutely love. Just funny. They call themselves. I was looking at their page on Facebook, and it says they're a comedy band. But it's not like a Weird Al kind of thing. They're basically they rock out with just over the top, crazy, hilarious lyrics. There's a video for one of their songs in here because it's used in Womb for Two, and it's fantastically hilarious. So that's basically it for this one. All I wanted to say, I think I covered everything, gave you all the table of contents. Just fantastic low budget filmmaking. You can see the growth from the earlier films to the later films. The growth in not only Mike Lombardo's skills as a filmmaker, but in technology. You can just see things sort of just visually, effects-wise, everything get a little better. And I just think that's because, well, yeah, he does grow as a filmmaker, which isn't to say he's crap at the beginning, but part of growth and is new technology coming out and being able to use that. And I think I mentioned in Long Pig, there are two very distinct parts that they said they filmed 3 years apart. And you can really see, well, the part that was filmed later, I believe he says was the first thing he filmed in HD. And there's a huge difference. As much as I love the part that, the earlier part that was filmed, the quality, just visually speaking, of the HD stuff is just fantastic. It looks like, well, it just looks great. It looks like a bigger budget, I think, than it is. A bigger budget film than it is. So that's Suburban Holocaust Reel Splatter Volume 1. So then the other thing, that rattling noise. The second disc is The Stall. Where will you be when the end comes? And inside, I just like this there's a little insert. I just kind of like that. I would love to have that on a t-shirt. And again, I can't show you any clips or anything, so basically all you've got are a couple of pictures there. There's a tentacle. So The Stall is an homage to Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft, and it's basically about an ordinary guy who happens to be in a bathroom stall when the world ends. That's it, essentially. But it's fantastic. This one is all done in HD. It's his, at the time that I'm recording this, I believe it's his most recent finished work. Excuse me. And it's beautifully filmed. You get a lot of the people from the earlier stuff. It stars Scott Schaub again. Which is another reason I wanted to mention his name specifically, because he shows up in here. And it's there's a lot of great Easter eggs, I guess. If you're an H.P. Lovecraft fan, you're going to recognize a lot of things that are mentioned, a lot of things that are shown in this little short film. Just right off the bat, I think maybe the only one I'll give a shout out to is that the characters work at Pickman's Pizza, which of course is from Pickman's Model a Lovecraft story. But there's a lot of that kind of stuff going in. Just different names you'll see, different things you'll hear. But this is really a fantastic short piece of fiction. It's got there's actually depth to the story. There's a subplot in this one. I guess some vocal cameos and a shout out to another author. In the there's the graffiti inside the bathroom stall, and I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a shout out to one of my favorite authors in there on the graffiti. So just another great piece of low budget independent filmmaking. I really love to support these types of people when they're making product that's really this good, and it's a labor of love. This one has another Backyard Splatter 101. He'll teach you how to make low budget tentacles, which was really cool. I love watching that kind of stuff. There's a commentary from Mike Lombardo, and then there's a drunken commentary with Mike Lombardo and Scott Schaub and a bunch of other people. There's a long behind the scenes video, or making of kind of video. Another Testosteroso music video on here. These DVDs for short films, these are packed with all sorts of cool extras. So if you like sick and twisted horror humor, really sick and twisted, which is the kind of thing that I love. If you like that kind of stuff, if you want to support low budget independent creators, I say pick this stuff up. At the time of this recording, Mike Lombardo is working on his next film. I'm pretty sure, I know, like just yesterday, I think, he was out doing some filming. So I'm not going to say he's literally filming at this moment, but he's working on it. I believe the title is I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. If you like Reel Splatter on Facebook, he's been posting a bunch of pre-production stills and production stills. And again, really, really cool to me to see how things are made, especially low-budget stuff. It's relatively easy when you have a budget of millions and millions of dollars to get your special effects and to do things and hire a huge creature shop to get your effects. I love to see it done on a micro budget, and that's what these guys do. I think it takes incredible talent, creativity, ingenuity, and a love for what you're doing. As I said, there's a lot of complaining going on, but underneath that, there's a lot of love for doing these things. These guys get to do what they love to do while working jobs. Mike Lombardo's worked at a pizza place for, what did he say? I think on here he said 11 years. Now he's been there. So he's working a full-time job, and then he's making movies, writing and directing and starring in, or at least being in. Not sure he's actually the star of any of them, the central character. But he's in the movies, and you see, if you watch the behind-the-scenes stuff, you see that he's in the trenches, doing his stuff. I think he has a bigger crew on this one than on any of the other ones, but that's what you do. You try to get better. You try to get bigger. You learn the tricks of the trade, and you do what you can to make each film better than the last one. And I think it shows. I mean, as much as I love what's in here, you can obviously see higher quality in this one. Again, that does come down to technology as well. I doubt that. Well, I don't know when HD cameras became readily available to the public. I'm not sure that they were when he first started making these movies. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover on these. Really, please, just if you love horror, if you want to support low budget cinema, this is how Sam Raimi started, and a lot of the big horror directors today started out doing this kind of stuff. Back then, like when Sam Raimi started, you didn't have the ability to do this kind of thing where you could make your own DVD and put it up for sale and promote it on YouTube and all of that stuff. So let's help out someone who does have that. I picked both of these up from the Reel Splatter website. And so, of course, I'll put a link for that in the description below, because when you buy these things, you're helping to fund his next project. There are occasionally t-shirts available. Last time I looked, the t-shirts were sold out. But, Womb for Two, he says on the commentary, the Womb set was financed by selling t-shirts. So, really, check these out. I think it was $20 for both of them as a package set. And I did get them autographed. I don't think there was any extra cost for that. So I'll have the link for Reel Splatter. Please go there, check them out, pick up a t-shirt when they're available, pick up these DVDs and just have a good time. They're fun. Get together with your friends and get a pizza and throw one of these in or both of them in and have a great time. Support independent creators. Pick up some Suburban Holocaust. Pick up The Stall. And when I'm dreaming of a white doomsday, whatever it's called, when that comes out, pick that up too. From what I've seen, it's going to be really cool. So yeah, just support. That's all I'm saying. Just wow. Speaking of a white doomsday, it's crazy out there. We're just getting more snow. So that's it, I suppose. Again, I'm starting to ramble, so that means I should wrap it up. Reel Splatter Productions, Dr. Chud, Mike Lombardo, and all the rest. Check out Testosteroso on Facebook and wherever, because just fantastic, great rock and roll, hilarious music. So that's it for this special edition of the Low Budget Review Show. I'm Eric Smith, and until next time, support independent cinema and read more books.